would be inappropriate to think that an important relationship in your life can be ended through a script or through simply going through Dear Man or Give skills. However, the steps can guide how the conversation about ending the relationships is approached. Use the dear in Dear Man by being direct and clearly describing the relationship problems that led you to want to end it. Express clearly how you feel about it. Assert that you now want to end the relationship and have the other person confirm his or her understanding that the relationship is over. You can reinforce by letting the other person know how ending the relationship will go for both of you. If this isn't the case, focus on how ending the relationship will be in both of your interests. Use the man in Dear Man to stay mindful and appear confident. If you are sure you are ending the relationship and it is in your interest, it's important not to give into upset or entreaties to stay in the relationship. This is really important, particularly if you are more important to the other person than they are to you. It's terrible when that happens in relationship. It is an uncontrollable reality that sometimes the meaning you have for another person is not the meaning they have for you. You have to be kind, even though you have to stand your ground. This is what we have to be mindful of while protecting the other person's heart, yet still getting objectives met. It is an extreme choice to walk away and cut someone out of your life unless it is absolutely necessary for you. If this is part of your plan in ending the relationship, I'd suggest you pause and consider how you can compromise to have the other person present in some fashion, especially right after a relationship, as people need support, even from the person that's leaving. Negative comments and ideals creeping in to these conversations happens. If they are unpracticed or if you haven't shared them with another, that could end up burning bridges with someone who you did not have affection and love for, but just cannot continue the relationship you have with them in the present. Ending the relationship is objective. Negotiating how to end it is something you want to be ready for, if that's at all possible. Using the give skill in ending a relationship takes into account that the person who's ending the relationship is typically in the higher power position. That's why the give skill is particularly important. Be gentle. Inhibit attacks, threats, judgments, and condescending words and expressions. This can be extremely helpful at smoothing an ending to a relationship. If you have guilt about ending a relationship, this can be difficult and easily lead to blaming and judging the other person, even though you are objectively working to end the relationship. It's important to listen and validate the other person's point of view. It makes it easier on both of you to work out an ending that causes the least hurt. The fast skill is important in your approach to ending a relationship, in that you want to be fair. You don't want to make apologies, and you want to leave with your self-respect intact. That requires you to be truthful about the problems. You can be tactful in how you frame them, but you have to forego sacrificing your values or integrity. It's really hard when the reason you're ending a relationship is that you have changed, rather than the other person is doing things that make the relationship difficult for you. Ending a relationship is not something to be guilty about, though another person and their life, their feelings, and possibly a future that they were really excited or had planned for is now gone. It's important to be able to be tactful when you share what doesn't work, so the other doesn't feel blamed or wrong or not enough. Sometimes opposite action for love needs to be practiced. Even though you may know that a relationship has to end, it may not coincide with an end of love. This might happen when you are in love with your partner, but realize that the relationship is either destructive or incompatible. This could be with life goals, values, career demands, the well-being of a child, an unwillingness to move to a distant location, or many other considerations that make you staying together impossible, even though there's great love. You may want to stay in a loving relationship somehow with this person, and you have to be honest whether or not loving the other person enhances or damages your life. Sometimes continuing to love is life enhancing, and other times it's not. If love is present and you have a deep desire to continue it, but it is not good for you and your life, you have to practice the emotional regulation skill of opposite action for love. It's very important to realize that in a physically abusive relationship, or one where you fear your safety or even your life, getting appropriate advice about how to leave the relationship safely is needed. If it's an abusive relationship, there can be danger in leaving, and that should not be taken lightly. Create a plan for where you will be going and staying afterwards, and a place that is safe to share that you are leaving the relationship. Let others know you are ending the relationship. Get professional support and advice around removing yourself from an unhealthy space.